Deep breath. So last week, I sat down with my boss to talk about what I thought was going to be a bunch of updates on projects that I've been working on. And what happened instead is that turned into a conversation about how they had to let me go. I hadn't done anything wrong or underperformed. There was no overt cause. And I won't really go into it, but let's just say that's how the economics crumble sometimes. So it's not the first time I've been fired in my roughly 28 years of being in the working world, but it never really gets easier. It always stings. I have this mixture of feelings that oscillate between shame and fear. I'm doomed. And relief and excitement. One door closes, other more exciting ones open, right? And though I'm definitely shocked and hurt, I have no bad feelings towards the company. I think this is an opportunity. For anyone who's been reading my posts or watching my other videos, you know that I have been spinning my professional wheels for quite some time now. From 2005 to 2009, when I was living and working in San Francisco, I felt like I was part of this uncharted mountaineering expedition. I was with a group of people that was at the leading edge of what was happening, with this peak in sight. A few years later, after writing my book, speaking at conferences all over the world, building and launching my own startup, I found myself back in the business world where I feel like I'm back in base camp. I'm having the same arguments that I was having in 2005. I know that there are companies who are experimenting and taking risks out there, companies that are truly social. In fact, last week when I was at Bufferfest, Adam, who's the digital director on The Late Late Show with James Corden, gave a talk in which he talked about the days being past of him walking down the hallways and being ignored by people who didn't know what to do with digital. Today, he has a seat at the table. He even gets to be in the writer's room. Honestly, I thought I would cry listening to how integrated he is into this previously resistant industry. It gave me so much hope. And I also just finished writing and researching an ebook on brand publishers, where companies such as General Electric, Lowe's, Marriott, CBRE, REI, and even John Deere put social and digital in the core of their businesses, not just as an afterthought. I want to be leading the efforts of this sort of company. I want to be part of a company that's forging new grounds and making the case studies. I don't want to have to fight to be included in this conversation anymore. I don't want to be brought a finished program and been told to wave a magic social and digital wand over it. I want a seat at the table. It's sort of mind-blowing to think that today I'm still having to make this argument. However, I can totally imagine my digital sisters and brothers nodding their heads madly as I'm saying this. It happens far too often. So about me, I have over 16 years of professional experience in social and digital marketing. Entrepreneur magazine called me a pioneer of online and social marketing. I wrote one of the first books on how the social web is changing marketing and business. I haven't had a very traditional career in that I didn't start somewhere and then work my way into digital. I started digital 16 years ago, so I've sort of had to make it up as I've gone along. I've advised companies like Facebook, TripIt, and SlideShare. I've worked for big companies, small companies, startups, and established companies. I've worked in all sorts of industry verticals such as consumer packaged goods, retail, technology, nonprofit, you name it. I'm passionate about data and research, specializing in social intelligence and consumer insights. My ideal employer wouldn't even have a digital department. Digital would be core to everything that they do. Product, supply chain, marketing, everything. I'm not as interested in working on agency side. Why? I feel like agencies nowadays are fractured and in trouble. They get a small piece of the marketing pie, which isn't very strategic at all. I want to really deep dive into a brand. So I'm making this video because my buddy Saul Colt did something really interesting recently. He ran a hashtag campaign, Win Saul, I think it was called, and he's kind kind of a non-traditional guy, so that non-traditional approach seemed to be just right for him. And guess what? His campaign was successful. So I suppose this is kind of my own version. So if you or anyone you know works at an established company that has a commitment to social and digital and needs somebody to lead you into that future, drop me a line at tara@tarahunt.com.